There are many things that can constitute a cultural approach to ethics and compliance, but let me focus on two which seem particularly important to me. The first is the notion of embedding ethical and legal considerations in the day-to-day work of a company, what's sometimes said the way things are done around here, which is as good a definition of workplace culture as any I know. And to provide a couple of examples of that, one from the area of anti-corruption, when employees are monitoring third parties, sales agents, consultants, and others, for their business performance, they should also understand that part of that, embedded within that, is monitoring for corruption risks. So that's one very specific example. I think a more general example is to train managers to recognize when it happens exemplary ethical conduct by their employees, things like an employee recognizing or seeing a risk that others missed, and as appropriate, acknowledging them for that. That, I think, can go a long way, and one needn't have cash awards for ethical behaviors, because I think employees respond to these softer forms of incentives. Another type of cultural approach beyond the embedding one is to be mindful of the strengths of one's culture vis-a-vis ethics and compliance, and weaknesses from a broader perspective. Things like looking at how one compensates employees, and by employees I mean all the way up to the CEO. And the more that compensation is aligned with the interests of shareholders, fellow employees, customers, and other stakeholders, that's something all within the heading of moral hazard that has a broader cultural impact, but is certainly relevant to ethics and compliance as well. And so is the notion of organizational justice, fairness within an organization. It's something which can be helpful in a variety of ways, but is certainly relevant to ethics and compliance performance, as many studies have shown, and being attentive to that is part of a cultural approach. These, and there are many other things that one can say about ethics and compliance culture, are more of a challenge than the other part of ethics and compliance programs, policies and procedures. But the rewards are potentially greater too, because when one has an ethics and compliance culture, in effect, ethics and compliance become part of the instincts of a company, and that's something which is the surest path to ethics and compliance efficacy of all.